Morning, welcome back to the shop here at Basin Motorsports. I'm Canaan. Today I'm going to show you how to make yourself a custom set of grips for your C5 Corvette. All right, so to start this process, I have already had a pattern made. This is an aftermarket one that I took off that I'm just going to duplicate in the new material that I'm putting in the Corvette. This is leather. It's two colors. It's obviously a blue and a black with a couple pieces of Velcro. I'm going to turn it into a plaid material that I'm doing my Corvette in currently. And then we're going to add some foam on the back, two pieces of Velcro, sew it all together, and that's it. Now, in order to start this process, I'm going to go ahead and lay out my material that I'm going to make the piece out of. Now, if you're doing like me, it is going to matter the pattern if you're trying to get recognition. So I want to make sure that this is running top to bottom on the grips, just so they match kind of the seats and the console and every other piece in the car. When I lay this out, this is going to be my rough shape of the part itself. Now on this, because I'm folding things over, I'm going to make sure that I have a 1/2 inch around each edge, all the way around the perimeter of my sample or my template. And then once I have it laid out, I'm just going to go ahead and use some weights here. This is just 3/8 inch bar stock cut into 6-inch lengths. Just adds a little bit of support and weight to hold the material in place and keep it kind of flat. Now from here, I'm going to mark it. Now this is a chalk marker, and I'm just going to mark the outline of the part. And the reason I'm doing this is when I flip it over later, it's going to give me a line to be able to fold to. All right, so there you can see the part itself. Now I need to add in a 1/2 inch mark around the edge. Now I do have templates and other things that are making it easy, but because this part's so small, I'll just go ahead and do it with a simple ruler. So let's go ahead and get a 1/2 inch in there, and I'll just put dots on it because these are going to be folded under the back side when I sew. Now with my dots around the periphery, I'm just going to take my upholstery shears here, and I'm just going to go ahead and cut this shape out, and then I'm going to set it aside. So now I'm going to cut around the dots. This is my 1/2 inch sewing allowance all the way around it. Okay, so there's my part. I'll just show you, lay it over top. You can see it's clearly larger than the piece. Now we're going to add the foam. All right, so this is 1/4 inch sew foam. You can see there's a little bit of difference. There's a cloth mesh on the back to sew through, so you make sure that that's on the bottom edge. I'm going to go ahead, and now I want a piece of foam to match the size of my part. I can just use a magic marker here, draw out that template. And then once I have it there, I'm just going to go ahead and cut it out. With this, you're going to cut pretty much, I have a thick black line, so go ahead and cut it on the inside edge of the black. Doesn't make too much of a difference, but too much foam makes it a little bit harder to sew the edges. So we'll just keep it on the inside edge. Now in order to get these two pieces together to stay together while I sew them, I'm just going to use a little bit of glue. Now there's just a spray adhesive. It doesn't have to be too much high temperature because everything's going to be sewn at the edges. So this is just a Loctite super adhesive. You can do a 3M trim 77. And you just have to put a little bit of glue on it. Now this is going to be on the back side of the part, so you always double check yourself. This is on the back side where the foam is going to connect to it. Just a little bit of glue, and that's just going to hold the foam in place basically when it sews together. Just going to put it one small coat just on the material itself. You can also spray it on the foam if you want. And now you have your sample piece. Let's go over to the machine and get sewing. Now as I go to sew this together, I'm going to go ahead and fold the edges over. So your 1/2 inch seam allowance, you're going to fold to the back side. When you fold it up, you should see a little bit of the white right here on the edge. Now this is the original white line that matches the part, and it gives you a visual reference that you have it pulled over just enough. Now you can see it's not going to be a big amount there. It's not a big fold on the backside, but it's enough that you can sew it, and you can basically lock in this sew foam on the backside that your glue kept temporarily adhered together. So now I typically want to start my position where the Velcro is. Which means you can see there's a piece of Velcro here and there's a piece of Velcro here. So I'm going to start on this long edge here on the side, start sewing there. That way when I put the Velcro on top like this one would be, you'll hide your start and back stitch here. Now, once you have everything sewn, you can see that you'll just have a light sew line around the edge. And if you flip it over, remember this gets folded to the back, but this will be nice and hidden. And if these longer edges matter to you, just go ahead and trim them down. Just don't trim over your sewing line and you'll be good to go. Now from here, we need to add our Velcro. So again, I usually take my pattern, match it up just to make sure that my lines match. If it's off a little bit, and it's really just to know where the Velcro goes. All right, so there's my pattern. So on this bottom edge here, that goes for my male Velcro, which is cut to length and size already. So let's go ahead and get that sewn on first. So I typically just clamp it in place with 2 clamps just to hold it while I sew. All right, so there's your first piece of Velcro on. Now, obviously, the other piece is going to want to go on. So then you can just double check yourself, make sure it goes on the right side. So it's going to go on the back. So I'll flip it over. I'm going to, again, do the same thing. I'm going to use 2 clamps to hold it on the end in place, and then we'll get it sewn. Okay, so there's your piece. You have your Velcro pieces that'll fold over and connect to each other. Now let's go throw it back on the car. Now the way these are designed is you have your your points on each side. You're going to tuck the top one in, and the point should come right along this ridge here, kind of matching this line across the armrest. So it's going to go in there. You're going to tuck this piece in. This other piece is going to come in the bottom. And you're just going to wrap it around until it connects. You can adjust it a little bit, gripping rotationally, and then you can adjust it longitudinally. Well, that's a long word. But it should fit. Your tips should basically come in right along this line here. Now that's a pretty simple project you can do. I think that probably took me, I don't know, 20 minutes or so. But they're pretty easy to do. You can do one for the door grips. You can put one here on the dash handle here. And it's the same method. And the material really doesn't matter. It's going to stretch a little bit, obviously, because it's foam and the piece or the material itself. You can always make it a custom design, kind of like I am with the Plaid. Pretty easy to do. And I thought about bringing out my own line of them just in different materials. I'm not sure, because there are hundreds, if not thousands, of materials available. It's kind of hard to pick what does everybody want, and shift boots and e-brakes and etc. else. But if you're interested in a set of these, just go ahead and leave me a comment or contact me directly at the email on my About page, and I'll work with you on getting you a set. So that's it for this time for Basin Motorsports. Any questions on the material, the machines, the foam, anything else, I'll leave a link down in the video description for you. You can click on that and go check out what I'm using. May give you a little bit of window to upholstery if you're not familiar with how to do it all. That's it for this time. Thanks for stopping by. If you need a set of these, let me know. We'll see you next time.